For years, the whole AI race has felt like it's been about one thing: building smarter, more powerful individual models. But what if that's only half the battle? What if the real game changer, the thing that's going to separate the winners from the losers, isn't just making brilliant AI agents, but making them work together as a brilliant team?
I want you to imagine it's 3 a.m., and that alert just flashes on your phone. That is the literal nightmare that a VP of operations named Sarah woke up to. 47 claims flagged for fraud. We're talking millions of dollars hanging in the balance. If she pays them out, she could be funding criminals, but if she delays them, she's facing lawsuits from legitimate customers who desperately need that money. It's an impossible choice.
And here's the crazy part. As Sarah started digging into this mess, she realized the problem wasn't a lack of smarts. Her company had all the latest, greatest AI tools. The real problem was they couldn't coordinate. She had a team of brilliant digital experts who were all working in their own little bubbles. The tools were smart, sure, but they weren't speaking the same language.
And look, this isn't just Sarah's story. This is the 3 a.m. problem that businesses everywhere are starting to wake up to. It's a full-blown coordination crisis, where all of our brilliant siloed AI systems are actually creating more work for us, not less.
You can just picture how this whole thing cascades, right? The fraud system spots a red flag, but it can't pull the claim's history for context. The policy system knows all the rules, but it's completely blind to the investigator's notes. And then you've got the claims engine just ready to send out money with absolutely no idea it might be going straight to a fraudster. So our human team? They were basically turned into a manual copy-paste bridge between all these super smart but totally disconnected systems.
So what Sarah needed wasn't another smart tool. No, she had plenty of those. What she really needed was a conductor. She needed a way to make all of her existing tools finally play together in harmony, and that solution has a name. It's called orchestration. And orchestration is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Think about it. A conductor doesn't play a single instrument. Their job is to guide the entire orchestra, every violinist, every trumpet player, to create one beautiful symphony. AI orchestration does the same thing. It gets all these different agents, each with their own special skill, to coordinate their actions and work towards a single shared goal. It's about turning a room of talented soloists into a powerhouse ensemble.
And this is the key takeaway, really. We've gotten incredibly good at building the individual players, the violinists and the percussionists of the AI world. But the real value, the next massive leap forward, is going to come from mastering how they work together. That's where the magic is.
The good news is, we don't have to invent this stuff from scratch. There are already well-established patterns for getting AI agents to collaborate effectively. So, let's break down 4 of the most powerful patterns you can actually use right now.
Okay, so pattern 1 is the most straightforward one. Think of it like a classic factory assembly line. For Sarah's fraud problem, it would look something like this. Step 1, a retriever agent grabs all the claim histories. Once it's done, it passes them to the next agent in line, the analyzer, which looks for red flags. Then it goes to a cross-referencer, and finally to a summarizer that puts it all together. Each agent has one specific job, and they do it in a strict, predictable order.
So when would you use this? Well, it's perfect for when your process is predictable and you absolutely need to be able to track every single step. We're talking about compliance, finance, healthcare, any industry where having a clear, auditable trail isn't just nice, it's a legal requirement. Now the trade-off? It's not going to win any speed records, but what you get is something that's super reliable and super safe.
Okay, let's flip the script completely. Picture this. It's 2 a.m. on Black Friday. Your e-commerce site just crashed. Total chaos. An assembly line is totally useless here, right? You need a war room. You need everyone talking at once to solve a complex crisis that's unfolding in real time. And that is the group chat pattern.
So in this war room, you've got all these specialists jumping in at once. You have a technical agent diagnosing the server bottleneck, while at the very same time, a customer agent is scanning social media to see how bad the customer fallout is. You've got an inventory agent figuring out what products are stuck in abandoned shopping carts, and a financial agent calculating exactly how much money you're losing every minute. They're all debating, sharing info, and problem-solving together, just like a human crisis team would.
And get this, the speed is just staggering. In one real-world example of this, a team of agents had 89 distinct exchanges in just 45 minutes. They diagnosed the root cause and agreed on a coordinated recovery plan. I mean, that's a series of emergency meetings that would have taken humans hours, all figured out before the coffee was even brewed.
But what if your biggest enemy isn't complexity, but time?
What if you just need to get something done, like yesterday? That's exactly where the concurrent pattern comes in to save the day. Think of it like a research team. Instead of passing a project down the line, you give everyone a piece of the puzzle and tell them to solve it at the same time to get to the finish line faster.
Now, this pattern actually has two main flavors. On one hand, you've got the ensemble pattern. That's where you give a bunch of agents the exact same task just to see if they all come up with a similar answer. It's great for building confidence in a result. On the other hand, there's the divide and conquer pattern. This is where you take a huge task, break it into smaller, different chunks, and have agents tackle all of them in parallel. Both are designed to do one thing: crush the timeline.
All right, last but not least, we've got the most dynamic and, honestly, maybe the most realistic pattern for all those messy, real-world problems. It's called the handoff. Think of this less like a line and more like a network of specialists. You don't follow a rigid path. You just go to the right expert for the specific problem you're facing at that exact moment.
Let's walk through how this plays out with a complex contract negotiation. So, an intake agent sees the request involves pricing, so it sends it over the pricing agent. Simple enough. But then, the pricing agent hits a snag, something to do with data privacy laws. Instead of going back to the start or getting stuck, it intelligently hands the task off directly to the data privacy specialist. The workflow is completely fluid, routing itself to the right expertise as new problems pop up.
So, there you have it, 4 really powerful patterns. And the obvious next question is, okay, which one should I use? Well, the answer, as you can probably guess, depends entirely on the problem you're trying to solve.
Let me give you a quick cheat sheet. If you need a predictable, super auditable process where safety is everything, you're going to go with Sequential. If your problem is messy and needs debate from a bunch of different angles, group chat is your go-to. If speed is the only thing that matters and the work can be split up, then Concurrent is the answer. And finally, if your workflow is complex and just totally unpredictable, the handoff pattern is probably your best bet for handling that real-world chaos.
So, what happened with Sarah? Well, 6 months later, she figured it out. The magic wasn't in buying another shiny AI tool. The real transformation, the real breakthrough came from making them all work together, from turning the chaotic noise of all her uncoordinated systems into one finely tuned symphony.
And believe it or not, this is just the beginning. The next wave of this stuff is already on the horizon. We're starting to see hierarchical models, where you have manager agents overseeing teams of worker agents. We're seeing dynamic swarms that can self-organize like a flock of birds. Crucially, we're seeing human-in-the-loop patterns to make sure our judgment is still part of the equation. And even federated models where agents can collaborate across different companies. This field is moving at lightning speed.
Because in the end, it all comes down to a simple, really powerful truth. Having a dozen brilliant AI tools that can't work together, well, that's just expensive noise.
But when you can orchestrate that intelligence, when every single agent knows its part and works in perfect harmony with all the others, that's when you create something truly special. That's a symphony.
Look, the tools are here. The patterns are here. The only question left is the one you need to take back to your team and to yourself. How are you going to conduct your symphony?